Good morning. Hey, YouTube. It's Yolanda at Dryer Bus. I always say that it's Yolanda at Dryer Bus. Is amazing how I say that. Listen, I am going live, and I'm actually going live on my phone. So let me uh, test a couple things here. And unfortunately, you can't do these things prior to going live. But I'm live on YouTube simply because YouTube has said, "Hey, where are you?" And so there's all these different platforms out here that are organically requesting our input still, and many of them, of course, YouTube, one of the oldest, nearest, and dearest, and most monetized. And I got, be honest, got kicked out of the monetization program because I have not been uploading content. One of the reasons I have not been uploading, there's some, I know you like, there's some stuff out there, but as you can see, it's a lot of low views. It's a lot of different things. Probably because YouTube has no idea what to do with me. I don't have any idea what to do with me, and so these platforms, if algorithms do exist, they can't decide where to put what I am currently doing. And one of the reasons I have not done a lot of this on YouTube is simply because I've had to go in and try and convert my following on all of these platforms. And some of them successfully work with what I am doing now. And that is, of course, soap making. And I've loaded a couple of soap making videos and different things on YouTube. But I've got so much history on YouTube from doing podcasts, from blogging, from doing radio, and all those different things that I just really didn't know if soap making fit into that. And I went to start a separate YouTube that I was going to do the soap making on, but I didn't want to do YouTube. I don't want to do soap making on YouTube because I don't want to go down the lane of I don't want to attract soap makers, right? I don't want to attract soap makers. And so while, there are places we corral for the pure kind of thing, I don't want that in my content. So I'm doing something different. And so what I am doing right here now is I'm going to go live. I'm going to switch into this. I'm going to do a couple of shares and things like that. And I'm not on camera again because I am in soap mode. And I was sitting here actually working on um my I'm working on the website. Hold on, I'm trying to figure out like how to get this shared and stuff like that. So what I what I have done in the past, I have to say it like that because um I have to say it like that because I don't like saying normally and this, that, and the other, because there's just no such thing as that anymore. So, and I don't like saying formally because I will come back around to different things. But I think I am going to do this, and you see, I haven't even made the investment back into the software here. So I think I am going to. I have a day or so on the schedule where I could possibly podcast, and I would do some podcasts. And I know YouTube wants everybody to create the visual around their podcast, but hello YouTube. My number one video has nothing to do with the visual. It is all audio, and it's some great information. And I went back in, so I said, well, let me figure out what it is. What it is I can do on YouTube. One thing I can always do is talk. I can always talk. So I'm going to figure out visually if there is some kind of visual thing, what this looks like. I'm going to make the investment into um, the software here and do something YouTube wise. Um, just figuring out what that is. Now like I said, I mean, there's a number of things that I can definitely talk about. Um, Oh, I tell you one thing. Would it be full on and entertainment kind of thing? I am looking at getting back out and networking. I can always come back out and talk about who I am, what I do. And that's not something that I've done a lot of. Even in the 20 years that I did this prior to now, it wasn't really about me, except with the exception of here's why I won't do it no more. That was all about what I did. So let me just tell you what I'm working on. So this morning I am waiting for about 30 minutes. I'm gonna listen to Clubhouse. But for now, I am trying to, and something I've been working on of late is I have been working on my SEO. Um, Again, algorithms being what they are, these platforms being what they are, what they require in order for those who opt in to see, hear us, see and experience us, we've got to do certain things. So one of the things I'm working on right now is my website, which is shopdrybuds.com. So working on Shop Dry Buzz. And most of you, if you follow me on YouTube, you're familiar with Dryer Buzz and what we have been as a brand or curating content over the past 20 years. So what I do now is I make handmade bath and shower soaps, and that's something that came out of the pandemic, of course. And if you are a subscriber and YouTube does send you information about what we're doing over here. Let's see, I don't think I need that word in there. So what I'm doing is I am figuring out what SEO looks like for Shop Dryer Buzz. And there's two, I have learned recently after a website audit that there's two audiences. There's two audiences. There's one who's familiar, one who's not familiar. And so it is not a catch-all when you have a website. So when you're doing blog posts or when you're listing products, particularly in this instance we're talking about, when you're listing products, it's not a catch-all. There's no quick way to come out here and do all of this, and I think I did have that there for myself, so let me put that back. There's no quick way to come out here and do this thing. There's no catch-all. You really have to pay attention and be specific to the needs of the person that is browsing your website so that they get to close the sale. You want to close the sale. And so that's what I'm doing. I need to ramp up production. And let me talk about it from this perspective. If you are on YouTube and you come across this in a replay, then you probably go, oh, this Dryer Buzz, blogger, at least you know that has something to do with blogging, has something to do with Atlanta. Instead of me, you're gonna hear, oh, this is talking about the some stuff and whatnot. So in this, where I am now is I have throughout building that following. I've always wanted a tangible product. Not I didn't really want it, but those who follow, subscribe, support, like, oh, you would hear this, oh, I wish you had this, I wish you had a book, I wish you had a product, I wish you had this, and so on, and so forth and so on. And if you massive follow me, out in this influencer world industry, you want something to sell because you have to get in front of all these people. At the end of the day, you're like, wait, what? And so now I have a very tangible product. Now, coming from something that's very, very passive, like such as writing, put it out there and people read it for eternity, for perpetuity, right? Such as some of the videos and some of the content that I put on YouTube. It's like, well, people still watching that way. People still commenting, people still doing this, that, and the other. And so now I'm like, wait, that's going to be hot that long? Let me do something else with that. So I have now this tangible, very tangible product, very active. It's not passive at all. It's very active. And I have a fulfillment thing that I have to do, which I'm sitting here working on the website and getting ready to work on getting my order queue reduced. And so even in that, like when I had a digital product, the order queue was automated, everything went on. But now I have to be involved with this every step of the way. So not only do I have to make the product, I have to, I don't have to do it all, but I'm involved at every level still. And so, while I'm working, I always want to be the one working on the website because I know websites. And I never want to be the one that have to call up somebody and say, hey, can you update or change this? I have to be, this is the part that I know I have to be hands on because I'm the one watching the trends. I'm the one creating some of the trends and the conversations. And so the site has to keep up with that. And so I learned through the site audit, just double back, that I was using Shop Dry Bus as a catch-all, meaning find what you're looking for, get through the checkout process, close the sale, da, 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 da. But there's two different people there. There's those that are familiar and there's those that are unfamiliar, and it's not a catch-all because all the information you have to provide for those that are unfamiliar, it will weigh down the person that is familiar or returning and so forth. So I have, and the site itself makes room for those two different customers, right? Because you got to understand that once people get on the site, they're pretty much sold. You either hold them or you lose them. And I because of the trying to do a catch-all, I think I was losing. I was losing some. And was making a hassle for those that were familiar, while you know everything was good for those that were unfamiliar, but it was too much for those that are familiar. And, and so I am out here updating for that purpose to get this streamline for those that are familiar, so they can go. So you get to the site. If you know about this, go ahead and do that. If you don't, you go this way. You don't want to send people the same way, right? Somebody who they come back and re-update turmeric and ginger. They're not trying to see all that stuff. Let them get to where they're going. Let people get to where they're going. So we have to navigate. Let them make sure navigation is there. There for that. Not only that, they know what it is. They don't need all that. But you do put that information to give somebody that's unfamiliar. There are two places when you list a product. So I'm not trying to teach all that. I'm just letting you know that's what's on my head this morning. As I said in the morning, that's what's on my head this morning. So I got that done, and now I'm going to go over here and check on the site for somebody who, even if they come in through the home page, and here's something I said I need. There's another thing I already see, and see, this is a thing, y'all. This catch-all thing that we are doing. At least I have two things there. That's at least I have two things there, because that can't be a thing of. Hold on, let me refresh this page. Did I just click this home page? Why is this not going? I'm trying to see. I have a carousel thing on here. Okay, it does change. Okay, it changes quite slowly. Let me see if I can time that better. So I have that. So okay, good, because I'm trying to promote two things. All right, but what I was trying to make, like somebody who knows the navigation and knows where they need to go, they've already clicked. They don't see that. Even if they come through that door, they probably don't come through that door. That entrance. Okay, so I want to come over here, and I just wanted to make sure that the descriptions, because the person is already on the site, that these descriptions are short enough where they don't feel like, oh my God, I got to read all that. Nope. It's literally just the name of the soap: turmeric, ginger, sea breeze, oatmeal, honey, buttermilk beauty, activated charcoal face and body soap. And there's a little bit of description there because we are trying to SEO that. Ruby red, morning grapefruit, lavender and chamomile, and shower storm. And I added back shower storm. I'm going to try and get it back to its original beauty of that bar. That's one bar that we do add in all the bells and whistles and swirls and so forth. Actually, when I did the top 10, when I sorted this by bestseller, because I was trying to find my top 10, when I sorted it, it came up in the top 10. Hell, it came up number 8 up in the top 10. And I was like, wow, because I thought I was going to get rid of it. And lavender came in at number 7. And I didn't have either of those on my list when I curated the top 10. And then white tea and cucumber rounded out the top 10. Navy beer actually came in at number 11. And I thought that I actually had that as my number 10, only because these other 4, I kind of two or 3 of those I offer sporadically, but when I offer them, they sell out. They're like, boom, gone. And I'm like, wait a minute, I got to think about this. So I put that back. White tea is something that I haven't done in a while as a soap, but it is my number one body butter, and I'm like, you know what, I need to bring that back as a soap because my goal is to have a and I'm talking more so again here as a merchant, not soap maker, and that's one of the reasons I'm real particular about what I'm going to add. What I'm going to add to this, and I'm trying to figure out. I'm on the phone with this. Okay, so I'm trying to figure out where the chat is. All right, because I don't want to miss any comments. So, first day doing this, and I'm gonna leave this up because I am dropping something. Let's see here. I had so many things, so many things on here, and I don't think I can show any of this because I need to upgrade, and I will do that shortly. But I'm trying to see where do I go to see comments, and my dog is behind me making all kinds of. Okay, so layout. Okay, there's layout there. So we're just playing around with this thing, y'all. It says comment. I'm just gonna say this and see what these comments. I want to say thanks for watching. Thanks for listening, I guess I should say. Again, listening until we figure out what the visual of this is going to look like. Now I want to see where that comment goes. If I do I get like a notification of really dog. And if you've ever heard my podcast, you'll hear me talk to the dog. All right, so background, they got backgrounds, they got background music now. But where do I go? Oh, there it is, comments. I'm blind. Okay. All right, cool. It's a star comment, put user in timeout and block. Okay, cool. So I can see comments. All right, so if you catch this as a replay, I have got to figure out what I'm going to do. And the funny thing is, I always want something like this in August or September because August is the time that I do the most. And so I will probably plan this out for a September release to do this and to get on here. Like I said, we just my calendar is clearing up some dates, and so I will be able to do more. What was I going to do? I need to go to back. I'm back over here working with. So y'all don't know how relieved I am and get in this top 10 because within the top 10 is the top three, and which I had right. So I have my top three. I also have my top five. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I was shocked at what the top five was. But I love what's in the top five because that's what I'm going to be making today. Get that top five going, and then we'll work on the rest. Let's see what else I got. Here's some things out here. So, and I'm just looking, just trying to see how this works. So, definitely I will be doing when I come on. I'll be in the process of working, and so forth. So I'm gonna end here because we're right at the quarter hour, and I don't know how long this. Look and see. Oh, there's a timer. No, it's right at 20. We're about to hit right at 20 minutes. So that's long enough for me to ramble. And let's see, I'm working on the website, and I see I've got visitors on the website, and I've got visitors here listening. So I'm going to figure out what it is I want to talk about in this. If there is a visual, I'd like for there really not to be because of where I am visually at this time. I'm usually working, um, just getting the day organized, with what I have to do. And that's just really important right now. Lots of things are really, really, really important right now, in this time, because when September hits, um, it's going to be non-stop from that point on. Non-freaking stop. And so I'm excited about that. But at the same time, I need to make sure that everything is done. And again, like one I was talking about, how these platforms, they demand so much of us because we demand so much of them in how we're using them. I just have to be one of those people. I like to do different things on different platforms. So if you follow on the different platforms, I want to give you something unique. And so, like I'm actually repurposing or reconditioning my Twitter followers. I'm also going to be doing some of the same with that on LinkedIn. I want to have a merchant conversation on LinkedIn, and I found the hardest thing to do is to get LinkedIn on my laptop. Like I cannot. Oh, okay, it came up this time. It's behaving. It's behaving well. Um, whew. Okay, so I'm going to share on there. And I'm going to share what we talked about here, and it's telling me, okay, it's not even recognizing Shopify. I guess I should use the word visitors and not so much customers. Updating Shopify for two types of visitors. Visitors, from those familiar and already sold, and those and unique visitors, and those unfamiliar. Maybe too often. Use content as a catch-all. Catch-all, which is a house. Too often use content as a catch-all. And it's telling me, oh, it was like, I love this thing. Oh, whoever decided to coach, give you the grammar check going on up in here. It's good. Okay, updating Shopify for the two types of visitors. Those familiar and already sold, and those unfamiliar. And those unfamiliar looking to, what am I going to say about these? And those unfamiliar or first time. And those unfamiliar, first time or period. First time visitors. We need lots of information. One must not hassle be hassle to that. Both hassle free. Both finding what they need. They need to make for a better buying experience. Too often, we use content as a catch-all and create bias wars. Bias wars. Let's see, both finding what they need to make for a better buying experience. Too often use content as a catch-all, can lead to visitors remorse. Site visitors remorse. Visitors remorse. We want to avoid that. Mm-hmm. Mm-mm-mm. All right. Mm-mm. So, okay, so I think I got you know what? And I'm going to stop there. Although I would love to go on and write a book on this, comment is not a post is not a place to write. Oh, you know what? And I'm not putting tags on that. So let me edit that and see. Can we go in and edit easily? And I'm gonna, because the conversation I want to have over here is buyer's remorse, seller's remorse, and I'm not seeing these hashtags come up. Merchant. Ooh, there's something called becoming Salesforce. Let's grab that. Selling. I'm gonna type Shopify. Buyer's remorse, seller's remorse, becoming Salesforce, selling in Shopify, and merchant tangible products. Active. See what they have on the products. Product strategy. Ooh, product strategy. Ooh, but that's under product. Products, sampling strategies, spotlight specialist, sourcing, safety, support, showcase, school, shots, styling. Oh, that's pretty cool. So, I'm telling something merchant. Merchants. I'm missing a piece of this. I'm missing a very clear piece of this language as to what. In fact, let me do this. Let's see what's under. Yeah, Shopify store. Let's grab some of these Shopify things. Shopify store, Shopify Plus, Shopify Dropship, Shopify website. Let's grab some Shopify conversation on here. There we go. I'm not putting Shopify expert, but I might as well because I want to attract some of them, right? And that comes. Okay, so updating driver Shopify for the two types of visitors. For should I say our two types of visitors? Let me say I'll make that personal. Updating shop driver Shopify for two types of visitors: those familiar and already sold, and those unfamiliar. And I'm gonna put a pin there. It's unfamiliar. Unfamiliar represents first. Unfamiliar represents first time visitors who need lots of information. I should say loads of information. Unfamiliar represents first time visitors who need loads of information. Familiar, ready to add. Familiar visitors are ready. Familiar, returning customers. Customers are ready to add to cart. Ready to add to cart. In and out. In and out. In and out. All right, ready to add to cart. Okay. Familiar returning customers are ready to add to cart. in and out, both finding what they need to make for a better buying experience. Too often we use content. Too often we use we use listings. Too often we use not content. What's the word? Here I need a word, y'all. I need a word. Here too often we use content and navigation. How about it? Site content and navigation. How about that? That word. Site content and navigation as a catch-all, which can lead to site visitor remorse. Site visitor remorse. There we go. All right, so I'm gonna go with that. You're gonna save that, and where clarity is needed, that's where engagement comes in. Somebody will say, "What do you mean about this?" or "What do you mean about that?" or "Why?" And just want to try and get some engagement on that. So that's gonna be my again. I'm trying to figure out what organically should be my engagement, as each of these platforms want something organic. Like right now, I'm only running this conversation to YouTube. I'm not running it anywhere else because it doesn't fit anywhere else. I'm having it on YouTube about the other platforms, what I am doing and how I am selling on the other platforms. All right. All right. So 2 minutes and to the top of the hour. And I want to go into a space where I get to learn and not teach. And so I'm going to go into those spaces. Thanks. I see I have a visitor listening, so thank you so much. As I was testing out this, and I'm going to see what day I want to do this, and maybe something like. And I like doing something. I work day on this stuff. But maybe hopefully by September we would have carved out and crafted out how I'd like to use it. Because YouTube is like, come back. You gotta come back. You got amazing good content over here, and I don't, of course, you don't want to lose the relationship that I have with that platform, because who doesn't like a good YouTube check? All right, and so I gotta get my viewership back up so that I can get back into the program. All right, so I'm gonna end this on this platform. I'm gonna come over and see what I can do on the platform to make this the best that it is. Thanks for listening, and shout out to everybody in the replay. If you do catch this replay, leave a comment. Let me know you heard it in the replay. If you like more, if it's just in progress, work in progress. That might be what I might call it. I might call it work in progress. Please don't start reading that button. I'm trying to go. But no, I might call it work in progress. Ooh, that'd be nice. Work in progress. And just talk through what it is I am doing, how I maintain and engage following, how I continue selling it, and so forth and so on, in what it is that I do, and all the hats that I wear. I got to switch hat now and become a dog walker, because you're looking at me like, okay, lady, we got to go. All right, thanks, guys. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening.